Monday morning. You're packing your kid's lunchbox. Sandwich, a snack, and a box of apple juice, because it's healthier than soda. Then you flip the box over, smallest line on the back, from concentrate. A fresh apple pressed at home runs cloudy, brown, tart, nothing like what's inside this box. Enzymes dissolve the fiber. A vacuum pulls out 70% of the water. What's left is syrup. The apple flavor, added back later. But here is something that might surprise you. 2/3 of America's apple juice starts in Shaanxi province, China. 8,000 miles and 3 weeks on a container ship before it reaches your kid's lunchbox. What can you check on your own bottle tonight? Start in Yakima Valley, Washington, America's apple capital. 70% of fresh apples in U.S. supermarkets come from here. Honeycrisp, Fuji, Gala, hand-picked, machine-sorted, packed with care. Beautiful, expensive, sold whole. When you buy Minute Maid or Mott's, not a single Yakima apple is inside. America's finest orchards don't produce America's apple juice. In 1991, China's apple juice concentrate industry barely existed. Then, a regional investment program seeded processing plants across Shaanxi province. By 2009, China held 49% of the global market. That fast. The irony is complete. Chinese consumers don't drink apple juice. It's not part of their food tradition. The Shaanxi orchards exist entirely for export, for American breakfast tables. The people growing those apples never drink what they make. American processors imposed a 45% import tariff on Chinese concentrate in 2014. It didn't matter. Even with the tariff, Chinese concentrate undercut domestic pricing. 2/3 of America's supply still crosses the Pacific. Concentrate holds 64% of the US market. The process that turns a whole apple into brown syrup, then back into something labeled 100% juice, starts there. Here's the thing nobody tells you. The apples going into your juice aren't the ones in the produce aisle. They're the rejected ones. Misshapen, bruised, undersized, dropped during harvest. Too ugly to sell whole. Perfect for crushing. At the Shaanxi facility, apples are dumped into wash tanks, tumbled through chlorinated water, then fed into a hammer crusher, a steel drum spinning at high speed that reduces whole fruit to wet pulp. Seeds, stems, skin, all shattered. That pulp moves through a belt press. 2 continuous fabric belts squeezing the mass under increasing pressure. What drips out is opaque and brownish, full of suspended fiber and a compound called pectin. It looks like something from a home juicer. Now comes the step that answers the title. Pectinase, an enzyme cultured from Aspergillus niger, a common black mold, is added to the cloudy juice. Pectin is the molecule that gives fresh juice its haze and body. Pectinase breaks it apart at 45 to 50 degrees Celsius over 30 to 60 minutes. The suspended solids lose their grip, fiber settles, the liquid passes through ultrafiltration membranes with pores so fine they strip out anything larger than dissolved sugar molecules. What remains is perfectly clear. No fiber, no cell wall fragments, just water, fructose, and malic acid. This is the moment the apple disappears. That clear liquid is pasteurized, heated to 72 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds. Its natural acidity, pH 3.4, allows sterilization at lower temperatures than milk. Then it enters the vacuum concentrator. Inside, pressure drops below atmospheric. The juice heats to 55 to 60 degrees Celsius. Lower pressure means water boils cooler, reducing heat damage. 70% of the water evaporates. What remains is dark brown syrup, 65 to 70 degrees Brix. Thick, slow moving. It looks like molasses. That syrup is flash-cooled below 10 degrees Celsius, sealed into aseptic drums of 220 kilograms each, and loaded into shipping containers. Almost no free water remains. Bacteria can't survive. Volume shrinks 5 to 7 times. One container holds the equivalent of 6 truckloads of fresh apples. 3 weeks on the Pacific. The drums arrive at a U.S. bottling facility. Filtered water is blended back in. Vitamin C added, ascorbic acid, often synthesized in China, then calcium citrate, potassium phosphate, and natural flavors. synthetic apple essence replacing aromatics lost during concentration. Without it, the juice tastes like faintly sweet water. Degassed, hot-filled at 89 degrees Celsius into PET bottles and cartons, sealed, cooled. Label applied. 100% apple juice, no sugar added. Made in USA. None of it false. But wait, there's a health angle the label skips. A whole apple has 19 grams of sugar and 4 grams of fiber. That fiber slows fructose absorption. The liver processes it gradually. The pectinase step removed every gram, deliberately, because fiber makes juice cloudy and cloudy juice doesn't sell. 1 glass of apple juice, 8 ounces, has 24 grams of sugar, 0 fiber. Fructose hits the liver in a single wave. Same pathway as soda. Minute Maid apple juice, 66 grams of fructose per liter. Coca-Cola, 62.5. The juice box in your kid's lunchbox has more fructose than the cola you'd never hand them. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends no juice at all for children under 1. Here's where the story flips. Fructose isn't the worst of it. In 2019, Consumer Reports tested 45 popular juice brands. Nearly half contained measurable levels of arsenic, lead, or cadmium, heavy metals that accumulate in the body. Apple juice appeared more frequently than any other type. In August 2024, Walmart recalled 9,500 cases of great value apple juice after testing found 13.2 parts per billion of inorganic arsenic. The FDA guideline is 10 parts per billion. That guideline took more than 10 years to establish. It is still not legally binding. 100% juice, no sugar added, made in USA. All technically accurate, none of them complete. So what can you actually do? Next time you buy apple juice, flip the bottle first. Look for from concentrate. If it's there, you're buying reconstituted syrup, filtered water, fructose, synthetic flavoring. 64% of US apple juice is made this way. Now look for not from concentrate. These brands press the apple once and bottle the fresh juice without the strip and rebuild cycle. One example, Martinelli's, pressed in Watsonville, California. Flash pasteurized, never concentrated, no added flavoring. A 32-ounce bottle costs $4.99, about $1.50 more than Minute Maid. $1.50, that's the distance between reconstituted Chinese syrup and actual pressed apples. Or skip the bottle. A whole apple still has the fiber the juice line removed, the fructose slows, the water fills you up, you chew. Next Monday, that lunchbox might eat a real apple instead. Before you close that lunchbox, flip the box over one more time. Read the smallest line. That's where the real story has always been. That's the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there's something you'd like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.